Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Ballabha Jaya Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Ballabha Jaya Girivardhari. Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Little help. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare wait for it. Go Premanande. What's your name? Nimai? Nimai on the Kartals. Your name? Ari? Ari Govinda Amadanga. Soma on the Madanga. And our very own Omkar on Madanga. For the Hare Krishna singers. And for the extraordinary clappers. You were one over here. What's your name? Manu. He knows how to clap, I'll tell you that much. I think you were also there. What's your name? Huh? Abai. Let's hear it for Abai. Give it up for Abai. Haribol. Thank you very much. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sorry. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll do the first line, I'll do the second. You ready? Okay, move up. Everybody move up closer. Come up. Move up by 7.2 inches. Come closer. You guys ready over here? Okay, I only got 2 thumbs up. That was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, anybody who's not ready, cover your ears and close your eyes really tight. Okay, you ready? I'm going to say a part of a verse and you have to finish it. Are you ready? Say yes. Yes. Narayanam Nadam Chaiva Devim Vyasam Tato Jayam. Okay. You could win something, so pay attention. You'll wait to see what it is. Could be a brand new Chevrolet. Today we're reading from the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 15. Today's verse is 28. Thank you, Nanda, for summarily handing over your class today. It was very... She's behind me. Thanks, Nanda. Nanda comes to the Govardhan retreat and hears and chants like no one I've ever seen before. It's constantly engaged. Okay, the verse is 28, and we're in the chapter called Description of the Kingdom of God. Mata Dveripa. Yes? I haven't finished it yet, sorry. Mata Dvirepa Vanamalikaya Nivitao. Vinyastaya Sita Chatushtaya Bahu Madhye. Vaktram Ruva Kutilaya Sputi Nirgabhabhyam. Vaktram Bruva Kutilaya Sputa Nirgamabhyam. Raktekshanani Nachaman Raktekshanena Chamanagrasabham Dadanao. Raktekshanena Chamanagrasabham Dadanao. Matta Dvire Pavanamalikaya Nivitao. Vinyastaya Sita Tatushtaya Bahu Madhye. Vaktram Bruva Kutilaya Sputa Nirgabhavyam. Vaktram Bruva Kutilaya Sputa Nirgamabhyam. Rakteshanena Chamanagrasabham Dadanao. A couple of chanters who could chant. Mata Dvirepa Shtadabahu Madhye. Vaktram Bruva Kutilaya Sputinir. Now, anyone under 14? You're under 14? I want to see identification. Go ahead. Chant. Do it as a group? Okay. Could you start it now? Okay, okay. Virepa Vanamalikaya Nivaitya. Ruva Kutilaya Sputenirgamabhyam. Bhakte Shanena Chamadakras. Sadhu, sadhu. Matat Virepa Vanamalikaya Nivaitya. Vinyastaya sita tutushtaya bahu madhye. Thram kutilaya sputan byam. Rakte shanena chamadagrasavam. Hear the word for word. Mata, intoxicated. Dvirepa, bees. Vanamalikaya, with a garland of fresh flowers. Nivitao, hanging on the neck. Vinyastaya, placed around. Asita, blue. Chatushtaya, four. Bahu, hands. Madhye, between. Vaktram, face. Bruva, with their eyebrows. Kutilaya, arched. Sputa, snorting. Nirgamabhyam, breathing. Rakta, reddish. Ikshanena, with eyes. Cha, and. Manak, somewhat. Rabasam, agitated. Tada, now. Glanced over. So, in context, the Kumaras, the four Kumaras, have entered Vaikuntha, or they're about to enter Vaikuntha technically, because there's a gateway, 7 gates altogether. And at this point, they've reached the 7th gate. The 6 previous gates were easy to go through, and now they've come upon 2 doorkeepers who are standing guard at the 7th gate before the entrance of Vaikuntha. And their names are? Jai and Vijay. Very good. And here's the description of the doormen. The 2 doormen were garlanded with fresh flowers which attracted intoxicated bees, and which were placed around their necks and between their 4 blue arms. From their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils, and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. Shall we read it all together? Say yes. Okay. The 2 doormen were garlanded with fresh flowers, which attracted intoxicated bees, and which were placed around their necks and between their 4 blue arms. From their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils, and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. Purport. This is by Srila Prabhupada. Their garlands attracted swarms of bees. When we say their, who is it? Correct. 50 points. Huh? Okay. Their garlands attracted swarms of bees because they were garlands of fresh flowers. In the Vaikuntha world, everything is fresh, new, and transcendental. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha have bodies of bluish color and 4 hands like Narayan. Mangalacharan? Yes? Say yes. What? Huh? No Mangalacharan? Was it something I said? No, I'm just kidding. Om Jnana, I know. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvajutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandho Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namostute, Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Rishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye, Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Bhavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So how's school? What's good about it? You said good. What's so good about it? What's his name? Okay. Oh yeah, Nitai. Hey Nitai. So what's good about it? Do we have an extra microphone or just... What's good about school? Because it's almost over? Is that true? When is it over? Next week. Okay. And what classes do you have today then? Math?
We have, this Wednesday, we have literature today.
Literature? What kind of literature? Huh?
Huh?
What kind of literature?
We had literature because our main teacher went out on a field trip with the 6th graders, so.
So what was the literature that you read?
Wait, what did he say?
What literature did you read? What did you read?
This book is called Don Quixote.
Don Quixote. Okay. Do you see any relationship between Don Quixote and today's verse?
No.
Well, what's the idea behind the book of Don Quixote? Who else read it? Somebody tell me what the main theme is of Don Quixote.
It's like this guy who's like crazy about knighthood, and he starts like fighting windmills because he thinks they're giants and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts? You had some thoughts.
So, like different groups. In my group, we're like doing we can choose from a few books. Like, there's like one about Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and yeah, Galileo.
What are some of their
Galileo.
ideas?
Flying machine, like a bridge, like more tension. It's like,
Did they have a philosophy in life, do you think?
I mean, if we added Aristotle, sure.
Aristotle, what did he think? What was his idea?
We didn't read the book, but like we could like get some philosophy from Aristotle. if
Like,
we
what do you
wanted.
think? What was his idea?
I have no idea.
Okay. Anybody else back there? From the book you read? Trying to find some connection here. Okay, Don Quixote, he tipped his lance at windmills, and he was in a kind of illusion, right? Would you say? Do you know anywhere in the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna talks about illusion? Do you know what illusion means? What? Do you have to go? I'm going to take it too long. Okay. Go ahead.
It's sort. I think definition is sort like.
Somebody, meanwhile, while he's saying it, somebody look it up. I want to see what's behind it. What do you call the history of a word? What's the word for it? Starts with an E. Yeah?
Etymology or something.
Etymology. Very good. How did you know that? Because you read books? Okay, somebody look it up. You have a dictionary? On your phone? Nobody has a phone? If not, see me afterwards. Okay, Omkar's got to go. Tell us definition of illusion.
Illusion means like.
Okay, use the mic.
It's like seeing something that's not really there.
Exactly. Is there one word for that in Sanskrit? Don't. Okay, Maya? Very good. Very good. 50 points. 50. 50, 50, 50. Something that's not. So now give a verse from the Bhagavad Gita where Krishna talks about something that is not, or illusion. Yes? Go ahead. You know. Use the mic.
I don't know a specific verse, but
Never start with I don't know.
okay.
If you're going to make a statement, like just go for it.
There
And if
is
it's
a verse, and I don't
wrong-
know it. And
He's fast.
it might be one of the first ones.
First one in which chapter?
The whole book.
Okay, anybody else, anything more specific? Anything about illusion in the Bhagavad Gita? Yes, there he is. What's your name? Narottam. Go for it, Narottam.
Definitely something in the second chapter.
Yeah, tell me.
I don't know. I just figured it was a little more specific.
Do you have an idea of something in the second chapter? Just give the vague idea of what you have.
I don't know. I just,
Give a vague idea from Bhagavad Gita in
I
general.
just know that it's like the contents of the Gita summarized. So it's the entire Gita just in a single chapter.
Is there anything in that chapter that talks about illusion and reality?
Yeah.
Which do you have?
I don't know it though.
Do you know what the difference is in the Bhagavad Gita? Illusion and reality. He knows. You're very good. You did good. We're getting there. That's the way you have to dig a little bit, and then once you start going for it, Krishna will give you
Doesn't
intelligence.
like Krishna tell him that this battle is not real? It's an illusion.
Not exactly. Yes.
Like his, like mortal form is just like an illusion. Like he's
Now you're
like
getting somewhere.
the
I like that a
universal
lot.
form.
The mortal form.
Like-
What about the mortal form?
Like they're all spirit souls.
Yeah. So which is the reality and which is the illusion when you talk
The
about these
illusion.
two equations, the soul and the body?
The body is the illusion and the soul is.
Can you prove
No.
it by Shastra, anybody? Anybody in the room prove it by Shastra? Huranath Prabhu, we have an attorney in the back row. Fortunately, go for it. Give him the mic. Now, I want you to mark this verse. If I see you again, I'm going to ask you what it is. If I see you anywhere, I'll stop you and I'm going to ask you what verse distinguishes knowledge from illusion or reality from illusion. Go.
Nasato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sataha, ubhayorapi drishtontas, tvanayas tattvadarshi.
Now say it one line at a time and we'll repeat.
Nasato vidyate bhavo.
Nasato vidyate bhavo.
Na bhavo vidyate sataha.
Na bhavo vidyate sata.
Ubhayor api drishtontas.
Ubayor api drishtontas.
Tvanayos tattvadarshibhi.
Tvanios tattvadarshibhi. And the meaning, please.
It says that those who see the truth understand that of the non-existent there's no endurance, and of the existent there's no cessation. Thus they understand after studying the nature of both.
Now say it in layman's terms. And then you guys repeat it back.
What's real is permanent, it doesn't ever go away, but what's illusion is temporary, it doesn't remain. And that learned persons, wise persons have studied the real and the impermanent, and they understand and distinguish between the two by knowing how the nature of each one.
Okay, somebody from the girls' team, tell us what he just said. Otherwise, you can't go to the class. There she is, right there. She's being volunteered by someone. Okay. Just give a summary of what we've been talking about over here.
I mean, the soul is permanent and the body is temporary and it's just an illusion, and the wise people, persons, understand this and have studied this and know that it's true.
Yeah, is there anything more? That's very good. 50 points, 51 points. Any extension of that anybody else can say? Anything you want to add? Yes? You want to say anything more?
I mean, about the body and the soul, there's
About
a verse.
reality and illusion. Well, in the verse, what Krishna's talking about is two different kinds of energies, two different tattvas. Tat is a demonstrative pronoun. It means something you can point to and say that it has a specific identity. And so the category of energy of the material world is called illusory, not because it's false, but because it's temporary. It's constantly changing. Therefore, the whole material world made up of material elements is called bhava. What's it called? Bhava. Say bhava. 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 Bhava, baba. Bhava. Bhava means that which is constantly changing. It's it's morphing right before our eyes into something else. Whereas that which is of the higher nature, the para prakriti, it doesn't change. So one thing's changing, the body, and the soul, which is part of para prakriti, it doesn't change. It's constantly the same. Horimashta. Hogya. Got to go to class, right? Well, I have to say to each and every one of you, it's been a pleasure meeting you here today, and I hope to see you around. And when I do, I'm going to ask you the question. And if you have an answer, I'll have something for you. Could be cash prizes. Thank you for tolerating me for a few minutes. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalptarishya kripasinave vacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo nam. Knock them alive out there, okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Could everyone move up? We have till 9 o'clock, just so you know. Come on, move up. Come closer, please. Well, that sure thins things out, huh? Okay. I'm going to read the verse again and then we'll discuss, okay? Say yes. Yes. The two doormen were garlanded with fresh flowers, which attracted intoxicated bees, and which were placed around their necks, and and between their 4 blue arms. From their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils, and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. Purport. Their garlands attracted swarms of bees because they were garlands of fresh flowers. In the Vaikuntha world, everything is fresh, new, and transcendental. The inhabitants of Vaikuntha have bodies of bluish color and 4 hands like Narayan. What stands out to you in this verse and purport specifically that you think is relevant and that their bodies are blue? Why did that catch your attention? Okay, this is a kind of liberation that living beings, as described, can attain, which is called Sarupya Mukti. Sarupya means that one attains a form that's like the form of the Lord in Vaikuntha. And so the only distinguishing feature between those who have this kind of liberation in Vaikuntha is that they don't have a line on their chest like Narayan has. And that line is Lakshmi. So everyone, or most of the inhabitants, or many of the inhabitants of Vaikuntha look similar. They have that blue complexion, just like Lord Narayan has. Thank you. Yes, Divyanga Prabhu?
I think it's curious that they're in Vaikuntha, but they're agitated and they look mad and they're condescending. What's going on?
This is the crux of the matter. Thanks for bringing that up. It comes up in the verse itself where the 2 doormen are garlanded with fresh flowers, intoxicated bees, between their 4 blue arms. Then it says, from their arched eyebrows, discontented nostrils, and reddish eyes, they appeared somewhat agitated. Does anybody know why they're agitated? What's agitating them? Yes. Hare Krishna. Huh? Can we still use the microphone? Because people online can't hear unless I repeat it, which I can do, but...
The Kumaras are not following the dress code.
Uh-huh. Which kind of dress code do they have?
They have no clothes. Only 4 directions are covering
Is
them.
that a dress code? Anybody else who did that? Who
Oh, Shukadev
adhered to that
Goswami.
dress code? Shukadev did it?
Goswami.
He was dressed, as it's described here, only by the environment around them. So they're coming into Vaikuntha. It seemed unceremonious as they walked into Vaikuntha, right? And what else about them becoming agitated? Yes?
Well, they're coming in as 5-year-old boys. Like, why are they wandering around in Vaikuntha, coming through the other 6 gates, and now they're at the 7th gates, and it's like, what the heck? Because they're just showing some alarm that they don't usually seem to have any work to do. The gatekeepers, they just stand there and nobody comes.
They're children, they're naked, and they seem to be just wandering in. And this is agitating the minds of Jai and Vijay, who are standing there at the gate. And as Divyanga Prabhu pointed out, this seems to be an anomaly because in Vaikuntha, by very definition, there is no sense of anxiety, nor is there a sense of duality through which one would exhibit a sense of disdain towards someone else. So, does everyone agree so far with what we're talking about? And why do you think this is coming up? Like, why does this appear in the Bhagavatam now? What might happen because of this? I hope I'm asking helpful questions.
Well, of course, we know that this is explaining the story. Lord Brahma is explaining the story of how Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha have come to be taking birth. So it's because of this incident that happened just on the threshold of the Vaikuntha world, at the seventh gate.
Can you say more about that?
Well, there's going to be the explanation of how Jai and Vijay get cursed, and Lord Narayan comes out and he approves the curse and has them sent to become demons in the material world.
So, what would you give it as a generic term describing this juncture?
A generic term? I'm not following, really.
Meaning, it's a precursor to something. So in the Bhagavatam, there are many instances in which somebody's cursed, which leads to, or I could say exclusively, all events that happen in the Bhagavatam that bring us a certain kind of lila, which is full of lessons. What would you call this? Yeah.
It leads to Krishna's appearance.
It leads to Krishna's appearance.
Yeah.
It does. What's it? What's it?
This Leela, this pastime leads to Krishna's appearance.
And what's this pastime? What's this happening right here? Somebody's becoming angry. Uncharacteristically.
Jai and Vijay are being cursed.
Okay, they're about to get cursed. Yes.
Jai and Vijay know that Krishna wants to fight. So this is all part of the pastime of the Lord. So they know that the Lord wants someone to fight and they're the only one capable, or they want to be the person that Krishna could fight with.
Now, I think that's partially true. I don't think it's mentioned that Jai and Vijay know specifically that Krishna wants to fight, but it is mentioned that Krishna does want to fight and that he uses Jai and Vijay as a catalyst for that to happen, so that they can become disturbed, even though they're at the gate of Vaikuntha, and that leads to the four Kumaras also becoming angry because of the sense of, you don't belong here. When the four Kumaras are walking in, the gatekeepers are suddenly looking at them askance, they're raising their eyebrows and so forth. It's Krishna's intention that he wants to engage in this virarasa of fighting, but it's not clear that Jai and Vijay know about this yet, that they're going to be used for that purpose. So, 80%.
I just have one question.
Yes.
What is discontent nostrils?
Like this.
Ah.
Like if I look at you, like if you walk up to the prasadam booth and I go like, something like that. It's the contortion of the face that indicates that something's wrong. So if you look at somebody in a particular way, it can agitate their mind. And it can show that they're agitated. Face is the index of the mind, right? Nanda?
It also shows that all of our activities have consequences. So in one sense, Jai and Vijay, from a seed that was planted when they reacted to Lakshmi going away, which will be explained in the future verses, they're reaping the result of that offense, and now getting involved in another offense. So those seeds have our actions have consequences.
Okay. Are there any other consequences that are upcoming that you can ascertain as the Leela is unfolding? Go ahead. You had something more to say.
Sorry, in regards to the most recent question, or to contribute?
As you wish, whatever you were going to say.
There are still rivalries in Vaikuntha in order to facilitate Supreme Lord's pleasure. So even between Jai and Vijay and the four Kumaras, the rivalry is based on the notion that the four Kumaras are Brahmavadis, they're slightly impersonalistic. So they're Jai and Vijay, who are devotees of the Lord, are justifiably agitated. But later we find out the Lord has something in store for the four Kumaras to make them more devotional.
Yeah, this verse is a juncture, and all these things are about to unfold as consequences from the Leela. Somebody else? Yes. Go ahead, please.
I said, this is also the appearance of Prahlad Maharaj coming from Hiranyakashipu's son, and the whole pastime is, he's a great Mahajan.
Yeah, it's contiguous. It goes all the way through the 7th canto. Consequences unfolding. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. I was going to say that there's also a pattern where the Vaishnavas, or somehow there's a curse in relation to Vaishnavas, like when Maharaj Parikshit was cursed by the boy, and or when the Nala Kuvera and Manigriva were cursed also. There's a pattern that Krishna comes in the Bhagavatam when there's these curses given, and he appears, and how the curses lead to blessings, or how failure can be the pillar to success.
Yes. Chitraketu, he was cursed, right? Say yes. For 50 free points. Yeah. Go ahead.
Two things. One, I would think, is that by definition, this is Vaikuntha. It should not be happening. And the second thing is that as it plays out, they should have thought, wow, these nice devotees have come to see Vishnu. We should welcome them and ask them what are their business, instead of automatically thinking there's something wrong with them being here. Therefore, they're agitated, and that's not a quality. That means you can fall from Vaikuntha, the big question that shows up sometimes, or used to be very prevalent in a few decades ago. You can fall from Vaikuntha. You can be agitated. You can have a material response to a perfectly wonderful spiritual occasion of the four Kumaras coming to Vaikuntha to see Vishnu. Why? Because they know Vishnu lives there. They went there. They're not ordinary persons. But, again, they're not necessarily supposed to be there either, from the guard keeper's perspective.
Let's just take one of the themes, since we have a few minutes left, about anomalies in the spiritual world. Are there anomalies in the spiritual world? No, yes, yes, yes. Vote. Yes? All those that say yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Be brave and put your hands up. Everyone who says no, no anomalies. Look up anomaly. You looked up illusion, I didn't call on you. Okay, so case in point. Trey Rishi had written to Srila Prabhupada and said that there seems to be quarreling amongst the leaders. This is not spiritual. And Prabhupada wrote back and said, your idea is Mayavad. He said, because of the individuality of each living entity, there are differences because of the variety. In fact, Prabhupada said, even in the spiritual world, there are anomalies. And he gives these examples. For instance, he says, sometimes Krishna accidentally milks a bull rather than a cow because he's enamored of Radharani's beauty, and in his bewilderment, he makes a mistake. And then he said sometimes the residents of Vrindavan, when they're running to see Krishna, the gopis specifically, they put their clothes on backwards or their jewelry on haphazardly because they're in such a hurry. And he said, don't look for utopia, even in the spiritual world. Because there are differences of opinion in the spiritual realms. In fact, you find in Sanatana Goswami's commentaries, he'll say 7 different opinions in some commentaries. Some people say this, some people say it's like that, and he doesn't qualify any of them. He just said, here are the various types of opinions. And so, Prabhupada's admonition not to look for utopia even in the spiritual world. On a practical level, are there any differences of opinion that we find in our the universal assemblage of devotees around the world? Are there ever any differences of opinion? Every once in a while. In other words, every once in a while there's not, for a few minutes. And is this unusual? Not necessarily. Of course, we look to resolve such things on a transcendental level. And we can see from here this incident that's happening right at the gate of Vaikuntha, that there's some kind of anomaly, apparent anomaly. It's not simply a utopian environment where everyone is content all the time. In fact, even the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam it's mentioned that the devotees don't look for peace. They're not looking for peace of mind. They're looking to satisfy Krishna. And in the endeavor to satisfy Krishna, there are many complex situations, and there are many anxieties. And on record, a devotee asked Prabhupada that devotees sometimes are in great anxiety. For instance, he gave the example of distributing books. They're in so much anxiety about it. And Prabhupada said, tell them that that is spiritual anxiety. And then he gave the example of Yashoda. And he said, Yashoda is always in anxiety. There's never a time when she's Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. She's constantly worried, will Krishna get into something in Vraj? He's playing with the calves and the cows, and are they getting into trouble somewhere? For instance, Krishna goes and steals from people's houses, and then Yashoda gets called about it. And your son's stealing, and then Krishna has this impish look on his face. And so forth. So constant anxiety for Krishna. So one takeaway from just the threshold of entering into this cursing pastime is that these kinds of differences of opinion or anxieties or complexities happen in spiritual life because of the uniqueness of the soul and the unfolding Leela of Krishna. And so we needed to be utopian in interpreting this and saying, how could this ever happen? So as we will find out tomorrow and onward, that from this pastime the Lord appears, and tomorrow we find that there's more about the nature of the Kumaras and why they became angry. And then subsequently, last point I'll make, is their transformation. This is a pastime of transformation. And it's very important because throughout the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam we find this beacon of pure devotional service, which is directing us towards the highest position of life, which is to attain pure love for Krishna. And in the process, we find different kinds of people from different levels of consciousness. For instance, the Kumaras were at a level of undifferenced monism, and they're about to be transformed into Krishna Bhaktas. They had heard about Krishna Bhakti from Brahma and others, but now they're going to experience it tomorrow and onward in the verses. Om Tat Sat. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Radhe Shyam, Krishna Balaram, Shri Shri Gaurnitai, if you so desire, please empower us to remember the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam all day long. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpadrishta kripasindhaveva cha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha nantakoti vaishnaviki jai. Thank you. Thank you. Omkar, now, good to see you. Thanks for coming over. How's things over there? Hey, Soma. I went to the demo plane. It was really good. How old are you now? 4? 4.5. You're getting pretty old. No, you're old. Hare Krishna.